Hi, this is Rahul, and welcome to this episode of Sportingly Positive. Today, I want to share a significant number with you 261. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary number, but it holds a great significance in the history of women's participation in marathons. In the present year of 2023, the number 261 might not hold any particular meaning to us. Nowadays, we witness thousands of women completing marathons around the world, from New York to Paris, from Mumbai to Sydney. In fact, women now make 34% of marathon participation globally, showcasing tremendous progress achieved in gender equality in sports. However, let's rewind to 19th April 1967, when Kathrine Switzer made history by challenging the ban on women's participation in marathons. She chose to take up on this challenge in the world's oldest marathon, the Boston Marathon. Not only she did run the race, but she also completed it with an impressive time of 4 hours and 20 minutes. Kathrine's bib number for that marathon was 261, and this number since then became a symbol of equality and empowerment for women in sports. Now let's explore the stories of Kathrine Switzer and Bobbi Gill, two remarkable women who played pivotal roles in bringing about a significant change for women in the world of sports. It is important to acknowledge their courage and the impact they had on promoting gender equality. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe our channel Time Out Talkies. We bring in inspiring stories from the world of sports, highlighting the values and everything positive about sports. Now let's begin with the story of Bobbi Gibb. In February 1966, Bobbi received a disheartening letter from the organizers of Boston Marathon. Instead of finding her expected bib number inside the package, she encountered a letter that disqualified her from participating in Boston Marathon. The letter claimed that women were not physiologically able to run a marathon. The Amateur Athletics Union at that time even prohibited women from running distance beyond 1.5 miles, and the organizers of Boston Marathon did not want to bear the liability of allowing her to compete. Bobbi, who was residing in San Diego at that time, didn't let this setback deter her. In a fit of anger, she ran out of her house after discarding the rejection letter and sprinted along the beach for 20 miles. It was during this run she made up her mind to find a way to participate in Boston Marathon. She managed to pursue her initially reluctant mother to drive her to the marathon start line on April 19, 1966. She told her mother,
This, that people think is impossible, is going to throw into question all the other misconceptions and false beliefs about women.
Now, if you were in Bobbi's position, what would you have done? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Bobbi, refusing to accept no for an answer, 2 months later, Bobbi, who was just 23 years old at that time, concealed herself in a forsythia bush near the marathon start line. She disguised herself by wearing a hoodie and her brother's Bermuda shorts. She joined the race approximately when half of the male runners had already started. Although her identity became evident, she received nothing but encouragement from the spectators who cheered her on. After 3 hours, 21 minutes, and 40 seconds, Bobbi triumphantly crossed the finish line, leaving two-thirds of the male competitors behind her. Reflecting on her accomplishments, she stated,
This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to stop the stupid war between the sexes and show men and women can share all of life.
The following year, in 1967, Kathrine Switzer became the first woman to officially register and run the Boston Marathon. When filling out the registration, she used her initials KV Switzer, which she claimed was not an intentional way to disguise her gender, but rather how she always signed her name. Unlike Bobbi Gibb, since her gender was not apparent on the entry form, her registration was initially approved with a payment of $2 entry fee. However, in the middle of the Boston Marathon, the race director Jock Semple noticed Kathrine and was alarmed since the rule explicitly said that women were not allowed to participate. He actually ran after her during the race, attempting to make her stop running. Thankfully, a friend of Kathrine intervened and prevented him from doing so. Kathrine persevered and completed the race, became the first woman to ever finish a marathon officially. During the 1960s, there existed a negative perception of women participating in activities like long distance running, fueled by various myths and stereotypes. Bobbi Gibb and Kathrine Switzer's participation and subsequent completion of the Boston Marathon shattered those misconceptions, helped to pave the way for the future generation of women in sport. By 1972, the Amateur Athletics Union lifted the rule that prevented women from running more than 1.5 miles, and same year 9 women competed in Boston Marathon. The numbers continue to grow, with 78 women participating in 1976. And fast forward to 2017, it was an astonishing 13,698 women ran the marathon, representing over 45% of the total runners. The story of Bobbi Gibb and Kathrine Switzer exemplify the power of resilience and determination in the face of adversity. They played significant roles in breaking down barriers for women in sport, inspiring countless others to challenge societal norms and pursue their athletic dream. One interesting note: remember Jock Semple, the race director who tried to pull out Kathrine out of the race? Semple later became one of the strongest supporters after the rules were changed. He eventually reconciled with Kathrine Switzer and they became best of friends after 6 years. And that concludes our episode of Sportingly Positive. Thank you for joining us on Sportingly Positive, where we celebrate the triumphs and stories that define the world of sports. Let us know how you like the story in the comment section. Remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with our channel, Time Out Talkies. See you at our next story.